You know what time it is. It's 9 to 5 with Gavin and Mike. In this short snippet of insight, we'll be talking about how your workspace, your physical environment, affects your mind and your mood. But before we dive into it, drop the intro.
Konnichiwa. My name is Gavin Masamiya.
Nice to see ya.
I'm a mindset coach based out of West LA.
And I'm Mike Ahiri.
You hear me?
I'm a transformational life coach from London.
These recordings are short, sharp, sweet snippets of insight for anybody hustling a 9 to 5.
That's right. You can tune into them on your way to work, on your lunch break, or on your way home after a long day's hustle.
And today, we'll be talking about physical organization.
Physical organization, yeah. And just to be clear, what we're talking about here is like your physical environment, right? The space you find yourself in. That could be at home or whether you're at work. And I'm just going to be speaking to Gavin and asking him what his thoughts are about physical organization. So I know this is a topic that you wanted to talk about, Gavin, and just share with us what it is that's so important to you about physical organization.
All right. And this is the 7-minute deep dive. So
Yeah, exactly. Starting from now.
Yeah. So, physical organization has been something that's been very deep to my heart. And for me, in my life, everyone can have different points of view. I believe that having a clean, clear space promotes a clean and clear mind. My mind is very scattered. People say that, it's because you're Gemini or other things. All I know is that I have a whole bunch of sometimes diverging thoughts, like paradoxical thoughts as well. And so when I know that my space is nice and clear and everything has a designated space, that's one of my rules. Everything has a spot. My car keys do and everything. It's like, okay, I'm in control of the things that inside of my locus of control. And that allows me to be more focused for the task at hand, as opposed to trying to rummage to find things that maybe I misplaced. And so we only have so much of a finite amount of willpower. And so when the space is clean, it allows me to be more laser focused on whatever the task at hand is.
Interesting. Okay. So you're saying that having physical organization, having your space sort of organized in a way that where you know where things are, I'm getting the impression that frees up some of your willpower to be able to focus it onto the task at hand, as opposed to having to think about where things are.
And it's less distractions. So I'm pretty radical, like with how I organize things. I'm probably one of the most organized people that I know when it comes to physical organization. So it definitely it's really fulfilling, man. It's really fulfilling to have a clean space where I know where everything is. And a person that's really transformed it even more is Marie Kondo. A lot of people probably know her book, or they saw her on Netflix. And so she has a beautiful way of personifying physical possessions. And so she's like, whether it's in your office space or in your home, her whole premise, her second book was called Spark Joy, which was like the illustrative version of the first book. And although I didn't read it, I know the premise of it, which is the first book. It's around you want to have things in your life. Imagine a life where everything that you owned, you loved. It actually sparked joy. And so some of the things, it could even be in your office space, like holding on to certain types of things or memorabilia that may not necessarily spark joy. It's just a case of a habit that has been developed. And we start to have sentiment over things that don't really bring us joy. Why the fuck do we have it then? And so that's just my thought. And so like for me, I'm creating a space where everything that I own, I actually am joyful about. It gives me what I call anabolic energy. It makes me feel good about myself and getting rid of the other shit.
Okay, that's interesting. Getting rid of the shit that you don't need, right? That takes up energy just knowing that it's there in your physical space. Okay, that's interesting. That makes a lot of sense. And so what happens if you find yourself in a new environment and you have to do work in that new environment and it's out of your control and you can't organize it? Like, what do you do in that situation?
You have your own little space, like, so I go to different co-working spaces, and sometimes like people, they put their own stuff, like the coffee makers here, even though I wouldn't want the coffee maker there. Okay, that's out of my control. right? So this goes back to very basics of like control 101, what's inside of your locus of control and what isn't. And so this is my spot inside my co-working space. In my backpack, I have everything that I need, you know? And so I spend the first 3 minutes wherever I go to create the layout. So if you see, I got my phone holder with my phone. I always put that in. I always bring my highlighter and my pen right next to each other with my glasses right here. I usually have my, you know, my Steve Jobs book or whatever book I'm reading right next to me with my journal, and then my essential oil with I have like a little lucky rock that my mom gave to me. I don't know what the hell that rock means, but it makes me feel good when I see it. And then I'll pull out my water and my herbal fusion tea, you know, and so I'm setting everything up. This is my locus of control right here. So I think that's the big thing, is just knowing what is in your locus of control and what isn't. And if it isn't, then, you know, just have to, that's not even worth attending to, man. It's just, this is my spot right here, man. This is my spot inside the co-working space. And so it's just a matter of building the muscle around knowing, okay, this is in your control. Set it up in a way that inspires you, man. So yeah, I bring a lot of shit. I'm a backpacker. I bring my backpack wherever I go, because no matter where, wherever that space is, at a coffee shop or whatnot, I can set it up in a way, and I have all the items that I need. It's like my little day pack, dude. I take them literally everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. You'll rarely see it without a backpack. Yeah.
I hear you. And so what I'm getting from that is your backpack goes with you wherever you go, so that you can take your stuff out and organize your space, the space within your sort of domain of control, and set it up in a way that makes you feel good and inspired. But also your physical space is a place which you don't have to think too much about, because you know where things are. So your mental resources are freed up to just concentrate on the task at hand. So we've got about a minute and a half to go, Gavin. And what would you say to our listeners now in terms of what they could do to start to organize their physical space in such a way that inspires them and frees up their mind to just focus on the task at hand?
I think that one of the most general rules that I abide by is that everything has a designated space. And so for people that maybe own a lot of possessions and stuff, just start small. Think of like what the primary priority things that you use most of the time. What's the 20% that you use 80% of the time? And maybe you'll find like 3 or 4 items or something don't necessarily have a designated spot. Choose a spot for where your car keys are going to go. You know, choose a spot where all your shoes are going to go. And by that, over time, you're going to have more willpower, and you won't have to, so you'll spend less time in the long run not rummaging through things, because you'll know that these are the specific locations that X item is designated for. And so I'll just keep it simple that way. Like, start arranging where everything has a designated space. And then another piece is really taking items. This is Marie Kondo. I'm taking one from her book, is like taking items, and it's like, does this spark joy? Like, hold it. Like, does this really spark joy in my life? Does this make me happy when I'm holding this item? And if it's not, then you can either get rid of it, or you can find someone else who can make better use of it. But designate a spot. Ooh,
love perfect. That. Look at that synchronized timing. Love that. Yo, Gav, that was a absolutely beautiful piece of advice. Just putting things in their place so that it frees up your mind to have to think about where things are. And like Gavin said, the benefit of that is that it will free up your willpower, right? And you can use that extra willpower to just focus on the task at hand, and then also just carry around things that inspire you, that make you feel good in the moment. Some really useful tips there that can be applied at work and at home. So thank you, Gavin, for that. Guys, that was 9 to 5 in 7 minutes. We hope you found some value. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let us know how you arrange your physical space. And if you liked 9 to 5 with Gavin and Mike, be sure to like,
comment,
subscribe.
And wherever you are in the world right now, good morning,
good evening,
good night.